Hey everyone, this is Peter from Peter's Pit Talk, and today we're down at the Lismore Fan Appreciation Day as at John Crowther Park. Is that how it's said? I think Crowther Park. Get down to Lismore. Absolutely phenomenal turnout. But I'm actually sitting here with Jacob Jolley today. I'm already in tonight. So Jacob, you are the Queensland one and the New South Wales one.
Yeah.
What's the chances of getting the A1? You're going to give it a good crack, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Probably just move it up a little bit.
We'll
Yep.
give it a crack every meeting, so it'll be no different to any other race, except a few more cars. So
Yeah.
we'll give it a crack.
Yeah. So we've been talking for a while about coming to have a chat, and we've got a big thing to kind of unveil as such. But what I wanted to do is go back a little bit. So people see you on the track, and let's face it, you dominate. You know, you probably don't realise how much you do, but you are the standard, you know, and especially in New South Wales and Queensland, every time you come to play, you know, you play hard and you race hard. But what's your history? How do you know, we all see the shiny car and the lovely transporter, and you've got your dad and your uncle as your crew. What's your history? How did it all start for you?
So originally, so Paul,
Which is your uncle?
Yeah,
Yep.
with my dad's uncle.
Yes.
So he raced super sedans at Grand Nationals for a while, and he was pretty successful in it, and obviously went to America and done some racing as well over there and that sort of thing. So he was really successful in that, and then Dad obviously raced production sedans, modified production, sorry, and you know, he was pretty successful in that as well. He won the national title and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So racing's been through my whole family.
Steep history.
Yeah, so it goes back a bit, and then obviously Dad had me in karts as soon as we could, and I raced karts until I was from about 7 until I was about 14, 15, and then my pop actually built me a junior car, and I ran that for a season, and then sort of just drifted a little bit away from racing for a couple of years, and then when I was about 19 or 20, I sort of went to the Speedway and watched and got interested in the Wingless. And I told Dad, and we went and looked at a couple and that sort of thing, and Paul was with us also. And he actually said to me that if we want to go racing, that I need to buy one. So I bought my first Wingless then, and yeah, that's how we got started. So yeah.
So how long has it been now that you've been in Wingless?
5 seasons now, including this one. So yeah, we've been in it for a little bit now. So it's been good, especially with obviously Dad and Paul. It's been really good. So.
And it is a family effort for you guys.
Oh, definitely.
And look, we see Lismore, Nissan and Kia. They're obviously your main supporter, and that's Paul's business, isn't it? Yep. So that's the family business as such. And I think, you know, people come and they see you, and, you know, like I said, you know, you've got a beautiful looking car, you've got the transporter. It's a family deal, but it's not just easy for you, is it? Like, it's not just handed out to you, and which people do tend to think, you know, that, oh, anyone that's got a lot of nice stuff and is young, Dad's paid for it, or, you know, this is paid for it. But you just said you bought your first Wingless. Like, that's a big thing.
Yeah, well, I think obviously just needed to show that I wanted to race, so, and that's how we started. So but like you said, the car and the truck and all that stuff always looks neat and tidy. Like, that's one thing that Paul and Dad have taught me is obviously show pride in how nice of stuff and keep it neat. So they've always taught me that, and like the work that like they do on the car themselves, like they work 7 nights a week. And on weekends they work all day. So even like just prepping, so for the weekend race, like they just work constantly on this thing, and it shows. So it's
do you think it's kind of their thing that they do together that they enjoy, but also at a certain age, like, you know, they're not spring chickens, but they're still really capable, and it gives them something to do and to get their mind off work. And, you know, like you guys, like everyone else in this town, you guys copped it, didn't you? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Like you're saying that, I think that obviously they enjoy it a lot because it's been through their whole lives.
Yeah.
I think they enjoy doing it with me, especially Dad. And, you know, I really enjoy doing it with both of them, you know, the travelling side of things, spending time as a family together. But also, the floods, like Paul's business is just down the road, and it was underwater by a hell of a lot of water. So it got smashed.
Yeah.
We were, when the floods happened, we were actually leaving for Murray Bridge.
That's right. We were speaking about
that. So it was the truck actually, so it went lapped the doors at Nissan at 3:30.
Yep.
And we only got the truck and the car out at 1.
Wow.
So it was touch
Lucky.
and go, trying to get all Nissan packed up,
Yep.
the cars away, this away, just all that sort of stuff.
So this is based at obviously at the branch. Yeah.
Yep. So the truck lives at Nissan.
Yep.
And the car lives at Nissan
Yep.
as well. It's a little spot, so it's makes it helpful. Like obviously having all the, because it's obviously a mechanical shop,
Yes.
has all the tools and all the stuff we need to work on the car. So it makes life a lot easier.
So you're from Lismore, you live in Lismore,
Yep.
and I guess something now that I'm not sure if everyone knows, you have a family of your own now.
Yeah.
So it's how old? You've got one child?
Yeah.
And how old?
I got Skylar.
Yes.
She's 2.5.
Yeah.
So she's getting old. And
You'll say that when they're
Yeah.
16 and go, oh my God, where's it been?
I got my wife Storm.
Yep.
It's been good.
And how do they feel and fit in with the speedway side of things? Because it's really, you meet someone and it's either they're a racer or they're not, and it's you've got to love it or you're home alone for a lot of the time, isn't it?
So Storm's been really good about it.
Yep.
So Storm's actually from Zimbabwe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she moved across here 6 years ago.
Yep.
So she actually never knew anything about racing or
Yeah.
cars. But she's been the most supportive person, especially with having Skylar. So
Yes.
she spends, obviously because Skylar can't come in the pit, she
Yep.
spends most of the time at home on weekends while we travel. So she's been a really big support in that way.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
You've got to have that, hey, because you're traveling with your family, but you've also got your family at home, and it's a balancing act, isn't it? So you can't go and spend every night of the week working on the race car because you have commitments and you work and all like everyone else. Coming into Wingless, what do you think? Obviously, you were kart, sedan. What was it about going into open wheel that was like, wow, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Obviously, because Dad raced modified production, he's still got his car.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm interested in actually having a run in it.
Just to
doing
see.
something different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's just the open wheel aspect of it all and how tight the racing is. That sort of stuff. Like you sort of pay attention. Like you can't touch wheels at all. You can't.
No,
race.
because you touch and then that's it.
So,
yeah.
Like it's just, I like that side of thing, and everyone's like, it's a really good community, and everyone's so nice and friendly and that sort of thing. So I think that's what drew me in, and just the cars look awesome.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
And I think, one of the things like we've spoken about, people sort of say, well, where's Jacob going next? Because, you have dominated for the last couple of years. Obviously, we've got the title in Brisbane this year, which is nice and close. And, you're doing all the races to get to that. Come to the end of the season, we've spoken about, going to sprint car or looking at those options. So that's definitely something that you want to do. Is there a dream for Jacob Jolley? Like, is there an ultimate that you think?
Well, I'm living my dream,
Yeah.
just racing in general. So
Yeah.
this is my dream in general since I was younger, just to race cars. So, but it'd be unreal to hop into a sprint car or something like that, and even just do a lap.
Yeah.
Would be pretty cool. So my dream would be to somehow end up into sprint cars.
Yeah.
So, but it takes a lot of commitment and hard work and all that sort of stuff, and have good people around you. So.
And I think too, being in a regional community like Lismore, yes, the Speedway, I mean, how awesome was last night, by the way, but it is a little bit removed, isn't it? Because you've sort of got Eastern Creek below you, Archerfield, Toowoomba above you. Whichever way you go, you've got to travel. And
2 hours in a minute.
that's right, yeah. So and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is it's all well and good to have a race car in a regional town. Sedans run at Lismore all the time, but sprint cars don't. There's only 1 or 2 shows. So no matter where you go, you've got to travel. Favourite track?
Okay. Well, every track's different. My favourite track is I
Yep.
really enjoy it. It's a fast-paced little track.
Yep.
Not little, but little.
Bullring.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's fast. It's I really like Lismore. Another track like Toowoomba. Really enjoy Toowoomba.
Yeah.
So that'd have to be my 2 favourites on the tracks.
Yeah. So we'll skip from the past to the future and where we are right now. So you had some exciting news. We've been trying to do it and come across. So someone who's very, very invested in Wingless and has just stepped up their game a whole heap has come on board as one of your major sponsors.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Wild Ink and Dave and how that came about for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dave and Jody.
Yep.
so we're actually at the King of the Ring up to Toowoomba, and for winning the King of the Ring, they actually sponsor the event
Yes.
of the 10 shirts for free.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Dave after the meeting, obviously sorting that out and getting email addresses and phone numbers and that sort of thing to sort that out. And I sort of, after that, we got home, washed the car and that sort of thing Sunday. And then Monday, got a phone call from him and we talked for a bit, talked for a while, and about doing a sponsorship deal for the car and for the season and that sort of thing. So yeah, we talked a bit, got some stuff organised, and yeah, they've come aboard, which is really good, and they've done a killer design, obviously. And all
So
that stuff.
turn around and let's have a look. So this is the new Jacob Jolley shirt, and you can buy that. Obviously, it's got the big one on it, and I actually really like it. So I don't say that about every shirt, but I do. We got hats available as well. You buy them from the trailer here, the transporter. So wherever you are, there'll be your merchandise.
Yep.
So having Dave on board, you know, he is very iconic when it comes to Wingless, especially on the East Coast.
Yep.
His knowledge, his expertise, but wanting to invest in you, like outside of the family business, that's a big thing, you know, for a company to come and approach you and want to invest in you.
No, absolutely. And obviously, like you're saying, like me and Dave talked a bit, obviously now, and hearing his backstory and his racing career is pretty amazing itself. So, but yeah, absolutely, you know, it's a big decision for a company to make.
Yeah.
So, and we're super proud to have those guys on board and supporting us, and we just want to show them off.
Yeah.
Really, do it proud.
Well, mate, I think every time you get on the track, you do, you know. Obviously, you had a bit of a rough trip at Kingaroy, you know, and you and I have spoken about it. It was a bit of a bizarre situation, you know, especially for the drag link to come off the hind.
Yeah.
You got it sorted, you got back out there, and then yeah, basically. So you said to me you got the car back, went to Hilda's, got it all fixed up, and you know you're here and it's back, and you ran last night. It was awesome.
Yeah, the car felt good. So we got home at 6 on the Sunday morning, and I actually went home and had a sleep, and Dad
you're a bit
just needed to rest, and they actually stripped the whole car Sunday.
Wow.
By Sunday night, it was just a bare chassis.
Yeah.
Everything was off, ready to go, and Dad took Tuesday off and took it to Hilda's and picked up all the bits we needed on the way and brought it back, and by Sunday, the following Sunday, so a week, it was back on all four wheels and pretty much ready to go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like to have that level of commitment from them to ensure that you're ready for this weekend. Like that's and not everyone has that. So, well, look, thank you so much for talking to me. Like I said, I'm a big fan, and you know, I've gotten to know you over the years, and I remember the first time I met you and Dad, and I looked at the truck and I'm like, oh, I like that idea. Oh, I like that idea. And then I went and did it. So look, thank you so much. You know, you've got a really, really bright future ahead of you, and having someone like Dave invest in you is a huge indicator of that, because he's not a one night sort of stand, you know, sponsor. He's with you for ages. So congratulations on the success you've had so far. Can't wait to see you tonight, and let's bring on the Australian title.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jacob.